So today we're going to talk about why it is that society has went through a major change physically. Have you noticed there's a lot of snowflakes out there, a lot of soy boys, a lot of beta males, a lot of small dick cucks, that kind of thing? Well, there's a reason for it, obviously. If you know anything about science or genetics, then you would have to realize on a rational level that it's going to be because of dieting, it's going to be because of what you eat, it's going to be because of what's in your food, what's in your drinks, all that. And we've become a society of obesity. We've become a society of people who will inject themselves with drugs repeatedly. We've become a society and culture that seems to gratify and tell people they're beautiful when they're absolutely fucking ugly, or 500 pounds of meat. It's horrific. And there's a lot of people out there, you can tell, when you watch like films from the 80s and the 70s and even before that, you'll notice that people have not evolved. They seemingly have de-evolved. You look at a lot of the pictures and imagery and films of the past, people were beautiful. You look at photographs of just modern day, not modern day, but citizens of the past. They wore suits, they looked great, they looked wonderful, they were shaved, they didn't look like a bunch of Walmart fucking gorillas walking around. But nowadays, you've got either these huge fucking Sasquatch of people, or you've got these extremely feminine looking boys and young men. You know, the kind of guys that'll sit there and get off by watching their wife actually have sex with a man who actually has a dick. It's terrible, and there's a lot of reasons for it. There's males out there who have decided that they want to spend their entire days playing video games and watching fucking TV, as stupid as it's become, very woke and crappy. And a lot of males nowadays allow women to push them around. If a woman says jump, you know, the soy boy will jump whenever he's told how high. Okay. So the world has really, really changed. And it seems to be a serious American problem. Because if you watch footage, any footage whatsoever, like if you look at like Tucker Carlson, he was walking through Russia, and the people looked beautiful, they looked attractive, they were wearing nice clothes, they were all walking down the street, there wasn't no violence or riots or people looking like thugs or gangsters or any of that shit. They just looked like nice people. It was almost as if you time traveled back in the past and seen what America used to look like. A lot of males nowadays have become impotent, and they have half the testosterone that they used to. There's men out there like myself and older who have more testosterone than teenagers and young adults now. This is very odd. It's frightening. And also, because their dicks don't work, we have another problem that Elon Musk talks about a lot, where there's a birth fertility issue. Males are not able to produce children like they used to. It used to be back in the day where you could produce all these kids. That's the reason why when you look at Mexico or some of these places like the Congo or places in Africa where they're not eating junk food all day and actually going out and doing actual hard labor and shit, why these people look all fucking built and they're all physically badass looking. It's the reason why you go over into Russia, they're not putting all kinds of chemicals in their shit. And the people are able to naturally go through their biological changes and processes. But here in America, we take perfectly healthy women and we will encourage them to abort their children because babies are an inconvenience. And this is very scary for us because our fertility rate is so fucking low that if it keeps going this way, humanity could become extinct within 20 years. Extinct, no human being alive. So what do we got to do about it? What's the solution to deal with cucks and soy boys and snowflakes and this weak-ass concept of what a man is nowadays? You gotta do something about the food, first of all. You're not going to be able to convince people who are like this to stop doing what they're doing. Obviously their brain is fried. You have to have a fried brain in order to continue to shovel shit down your throat and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I remember for almost 10 years, it used to be arguments with vegans and all that. And you watch these videos with these people who are vegans, and they're crying about how terrible it is for pigs and slaughterhouses and all this shit. But then you look at them. Take Onision, for instance. I don't know if you guys remember that loser. He ended up, I think, losing everything because he turned out to be a groomer atheist. Like to groom young girls, bring them to his house, and then fuck them. But what happened was he ended up losing all of his muscle mass. He ended up looking like an Ethiopian on crack. It was horrible. And that's the problem that we have, ladies and gentlemen. It's either that we have people that are too fucking fat, or people who look completely unhealthy. And it's not just a matter of working out, ladies and gentlemen. These men of the past, they weren't going to the gyms all the time. They didn't have a gym on every fucking street where somebody could go work out. It was a matter of their diet and the fact that they actually worked. And nowadays, a lot of people are depressed. You always hear the transgenders say that too, the guys who become little girls and shit like that and dress up in wigs and ugly clothes. And they're like, oh, geez, why doesn't anybody want to fuck me? One, you got a dick even though it doesn't work very well. And you're just straight up, you're not attractive. That's the deal. I mean, I'm being honest with you folks. The reason why a lot of people aren't wanting to have sex nowadays is just listen to the personality of liberal females. Oh my God, they're absolutely horrific. Self-entitled Karens who thinks that the world fucking owes them. It's amazing when you're watching the fat people out there, too. They're complaining about, oh, there's not enough food. I need more fucking seats if I'm going to get on an airplane because my ass is so big. Do you know that there's no country in the world where people have fucking food addictions or food, feel like they're food oppressed? There's people out there, 90% of the human race in some of these countries are starving to death, and over here, we've actually got people who are like, I'm addicted to ice cream and cookies. I can't get away from it. I just can't. People have become greedy fucking sows and pigs, ladies and gentlemen. It's horrible. And I'm not up here trying to claim that I'm a fucking prize myself. I'm not in any way claiming that I didn't have my points in life where I was a big boy and, was starting to work out some man titties there or something. What I'm saying, though, is our society and our culture and our government and these corporations, they've really fucked us up. I mean, they fucked us down into the genetics of the way our bodies work. So now we've got a bunch of depressed, sad fucking people who are not happy with the way they look and the way they feel. People feel like shit all the time. Well, it's because of what you eat. I noticed before I met my wife, I felt like shit. My depression was absolutely out of control. I was ready to hang myself from the neck like Tarzan and swing from fucking trees. But my wife, turns out she could cook really well. She was really great at the kitchen stuff. And boy, she made meals and it really proteined me up and got muscular, got strong, felt good. The depression actually declined. Isn't that odd? The more better your body actually physically feels, the more mentally and emotionally you're able to function in society. Yeah. How about that? Very, very shocking, right? But yeah, why do cucks exist? Well, they they know that because their dicks are so small and they know that they're such weak people that they can't get their wives off and their girlfriends and all that. So to see an alpha male actually take their wife or girlfriends to task and shit, it gets them off. It gratifies them. That's why cucks exist. Because they wish that they could actually do that. And they want to be able to see the people that they love actually get off and actually feel something out of the exchange where they couldn't produce themselves. That's the reason why. So, yeah, if you don't eat well and you let the corporations poison you with all kinds of bullshit, then you're, especially putting steroids inside of food and all this kind of shit. Steroids have always been known to make your heart explode and your pecker fucking tiny. But the pharmaceutical companies, they love it. You know, the medical facilities, they love it because you're a consistent patient, and that makes them money. The more sick you are, the more money hospitals make. And they don't want you healthy. If you get healthy and shit, then they're out of a fucking job. All right?